Good afternoon. We're here in Rockford, Illinois for the USWRA National Championships Tournament. Division I, Division II. This is a Division I game, a crossover game. We call it the semifinal between the Texas Stampede and the University of Arizona Wildcats. Texas wins the draw. Oh! You're going to want to see a replay of that one.
Yeah.
Did not call that flagrant, but look where he ended up. If he had been a little more to the right, he'd have hit that wall. I don't like that one at all. I didn't see where he hit him, so I'm going to want to, whether or not he had an ability to affect the way Henniger was crossing the line, but.
Yeah. So he actually hits him in the front of the wheel, and I like the call. Ray flops. It's a flop.
Still.
Coach Gumby doesn't like it, and I think it's the right call here because it's a semifinal game.
You don't think that's flagrant?
I mean, the last game I did. Here's why I don't want to call it right there. Ray flops. Clearly flopped.
Does he?
He threw his hips. He threw his hips in the replay, and then you're basically deciding the game before the game even starts. And so I like the ref just not doing it. He did a great job there, I thought. Alex has been so impressive this tournament. He lets the defender take him for a ride, uses the momentum to his advantage, and scores. He's been playing really good rugby.
So we're looking to see better chemistry here between Puderbaugh and Wheeler.
Yeah. And they're going.
They had a rough game earlier.
They're going in the key. Nice catch there by Joshua. That was a tough pass to catch there.
Puderbaugh drew Kirkland away from that, and that's when he fired that ball in there because he saw Kirkland coming at him.
And you see Texas falling back in the key early because they have a height advantage against U of A's lineup.
Ooh. That's another one where that could have been a vertical and tossed him into the wall. I appreciate the aggressive play, but I don't want to see anybody get their skull cracked open either.
No, and you got to know
when that makes a difference. I mean, there is an intimidation factor, right? If that guy knows that you're coming for him and you're gonna go after him,
you think about it.
Absolutely.
Think about it. Yeah.
You want to get in a guy's head, and I appreciate that, and I also appreciate the effort, but hopefully it won't translate into something later that's harmful. Henniger.
So what's interesting about that play there, Alex was caught in Corey's chair and hops off. So
instead of calling equipment.
Right. So
he could get on there on purpose.
What's interesting is he can get on there on purpose if he wanted to, or get off. He showed he can get off. Right. So
he could
if
say
he says
equipment,
is that equipment?
Is
you
it?
Just showed, you know,
that you can
as a ref, do you foul that in the back of your mind? I don't know.
Or as a coach, do you say to the ref, hey, did you see that earlier? Keep an eye on that.
Absolutely.
He can get off,
Absolutely.
Right? Especially at the level you're coaching. And over he goes. Turnover.
There's the first turnover there. Corey was coming in out of control and tries to slide through and does not score. I don't know if we can get a replay on that one or not. But
when he tried to use his hips, but he got his weight too far forward. Oh, we're going to get a replay.
Thank you guys. Phenomenal camera and production crew.
You know what? He got twisted a little bit because he got caught on Garcia's chair.
I don't know if he gets. This is a great angle here.
I don't think it's a spin.
So
but
do we get
Garcia hit the front of his wheel and turned him, and his weight was off.
So he tried to twist his hips through and didn't. And
tried to hop his chair a little bit too to squeeze through there.
Did not get two wheels in before the goal.
Nope. Not a score.
You know, Wheeler's talking to him right now, and they've got to settle down. They did this against the Denver this morning, and kind of get in their own way sometimes with some of this.
It's only 2 right now, 2-point difference.
If I'm U of A, I'm going to my balance line a little bit sooner than this. It's just
they didn't hear you when you said that.
They did not, and I think they match up better.
No, maybe we'll get an opportunity to see that and see how it goes. So Puderbaugh will attack. Pabon out to meet him. Wheeler's in the corner.
Yeah, That's a good job by
play work.
Josh. Just
That was a good play.
waiting for it, and then boom, gets the position.
Trying not to get stuck in there for 10 seconds.
Good pass by Corey.
Henniger coming up with speed.
And this is what U of A's got to do. They've got to get the ball out of Alex's hands and into Ray's and make him beat you. Even Brian, make Brian beat you. So make someone else besides Alex beat you, because Alex is.
Well, we know that. All of us know there's a guy on every team where you want the ball not to be, or you want the ball to be,
correct,
to give you an advantage, right? And 10 no
Just
dribble is the call.
No dribble. The shot clock was at 29. Yep.
Kirkland trying to get it to Pabon.
No
Tries to back through. Able to spin, but Puderbaugh slows him down. Now straight into Fredette. Wheeler holds his corner. Pabon now has the corner if he wants it. Garcia not able to get. Oh, and now Puderbaugh, he will get a flagrant because his third hit at the line. He's kind of, the referees kind of set him up because they let him get away with that twice. That's what I was talking about earlier, teaching guys that they can do this, and now they need to send a message to you.
Alex is getting all fired up as he should be, and that's it's like you said, it's the third time, and Corey's letting the game take his emotions over instead of the other way around.
Interestingly enough, that was the least risky one that he did, but again, it's a message, right? This needs to stop. They thought about, is that flagrant the other two times? And this time they're like, okay, we're done.
And honestly, with U of A, like, you got to call a coach's timeout. You got to make a switch. This is not working.
Yeah, they got to stay in it.
And for Texas credit, they've came out and done exactly what they need to do to set the tone for this game.
They're taking advantage of the emotions of this game and the last game at this point, right? They watched that last game, or at least they know about that last game. They know what worked and what didn't. Puderbaugh can't get to Wheel. Give and go to Baker. Underneath the pile, Pabon, relentless. Gets the pick, though. Nice job by Fredette. And now Puderbaugh's across.
Great job by Corey, and great job by Fredette.
And even that pick there by Wheeler to finish it off.
So we got ourselves a 3-point game. 4 going up with the score.
Somebody's got a flat.
Oh.
Is that because he went horizontally that they called that let them have that equipment?
I thought the ball, TJ let it slide. The ball was passed. I didn't think they were going to do it. And then they decided, Joe Bongiovanni, the official on the top.
Even as they crossed, it didn't feel like he went horizontal. I felt like he was still advancing toward the front court.
I'd agree with you, but
I'm surprised.
It's a subjective call.
Yep.
And that's helpful for U of A for sure.
Maybe there's something we didn't see.
No subs in the sub box for either team, so sticking with starters for now.
Was it in Columbia where we saw guys spoke guard pop off his wheel, hand rim and all? Or was that in the tournament I watched last weekend?
Maybe last weekend,
Might have been in Philly. Yeah, knocked the entire hand rim and wheel cover off the wheel. That one's out of circulation. He broke all the tabs. Never seen that before in 22 years of playing.
He's got a great outlet there. Good job by Travis being patient. Really nice.
Right over the top to Fredette.
That was good to see from Travis Baker, being patient with that pick. And again, that 1-5 roll is tough to play. He did a great job right there.
Fredette picks both Pabon and Henniger. And timeout is called. That's a good call there.
Yeah, solid timeout.
There's no place to go.
They've done a great job building a lead. Coach Gumby's bringing them in and done a great job building a 3-point lead, going up 4, and call a timeout. Get out of jail free.
And the damage is surprisingly slim from that Puderbaugh flagrant.
And that's why U of A wants this lineup out, because it's a better defensive lineup. But for me, I want offense. You got to score the ball to stay in the game. That's why you're down.
Especially when you're down.
Exactly.
I mean, I get he's going to count on the defense to create turnovers. But they got to be able to get it across half and get it across that line. Even their more offensive squad is going to create some turnovers. So when you balance this one out, who do you put out there? Do you put Helton out there? Do you put Melton out there?
You go with Melton and Chris Fleece, and then you're going to spread out their defense a lot more. Right now, Texas doing a really good job of pressuring them really low.
Henniger underneath now.
Alex is seeing if he has
trying
that
to get there.
pass.
Got to come
nothing
back.
there.
Henniger open. Puderbaugh crosses the line. Playing defense, playing aggressively. Give him that one. He'll go to the box. But give him credit. I mean, Texas only has 8 seconds. Oh, they get a reset, don't they? Because of the penalty.
Yeah, so they get a reset.
But it's a good effort. It's going to eat up a little clock, but you know they were going to score anyway. So for them to score here doesn't really hurt anybody.
No.
Just use up a little bit of time, and maybe forces Puderbaugh to inbound.
Yeah, which is an advantage. It's an advantage for Texas, but
sure. Unless someone like Wheeler goes over there and blasts Pabon. But you don't want Wheeler to get trapped up there either, because then if Corey has to inbound, where is he going to go?
They try to get the inbound there with
Wheeler stuck at the line. He's in trouble. Calls timeout. Good play there by Kirkland.
Josh missed Corey. Corey came screaming up, got a quick pick, and then up the sideline. He probably could have thrown it up and just missed it.
I thought we were going to see a pass there for sure. He
Looks
had his head down a little bit. He was focused on getting across the line.
Looks like they're going to go with Melton and Fleece coming in for the last 2 minutes and 37 seconds. 4-point lead for Texas. And
was their coach sitting close here listening to us talk?
Yeah, probably. Probably. No. The Denver boys, after their win against Ability 360 in the semifinal, filing in and seeing who they're going to be playing tomorrow.
Right, they got to get a look at their competition and how they are now as opposed to when they played them last. What kind of lines they're running. So now we got Wheeler diving into the key and Puderbaugh right through the middle.
Untouched. Ball's into Ray.
Henniger turns back. Fleece tries to slow him down. Now it's Wheeler trying to stop Henniger and Pabon.
Corey's working hard there, but he's going underneath the pile defensively instead of over the top to be able to get back in the play.
One of the rules of defense, don't go under the pile. Don't get beat to the outside. Stop the first chair. Don't go under the pile.
Good patience there by Josh Wheeler. Chuck comes up, follows up, and they're denying Alex right now.
2:05 left in the first. Yep.
They're denying Alex because they want Ray to beat him.
Oh, Ray is looking around when he makes that dribble and almost loses the handle of it.
That's the defense you want if you're going to beat Texas. Texas has a ton of function on the court.
Yep.
An automatic inbound there in Bryan, and they played that really well. Corey just got beat by Ray. Ray had a great push. They're trying to get a 130.
12-8 our score. Texas on top. Corey gets it over. Wheeler in a good position. Gave him a little bit of an angle so he could see the ball. Although Wheeler can turn his head all the way around, which is not true of all of us.
Ball's back into Ray.
Puderbaugh swipes at it, and we have a meter violation?
Yeah, so Bryan came in, did not come in at a 45-degree angle, which is the rule, and Joe Bongiovanni sees it, and That's the call.
So.
Now they're going to try to go 5-0. It's their arrow, too. There's a huge turnover at the end of the quarter here.
Yeah, if they can take advantage of it, for sure.
Texas has came out firing on all cylinders. Corey's made a couple tough plays there, but now they're back in the game if they can score this goal.
You know, whatever we say about what Corey's plays, he's been intense, more intense than we saw him in the first game. Much more passion. And that's what you were asking for out of the last game.
No, it helps Josh and Corey so much to have another ball carrier out there in Melton.
Totally.
You've seen it, and it's just,
well,
yeah.
You know, the speed of Corey versus the hands of Melton, right? Because Melton can grab that ball. Not that Corey can't, but.
Yeah, so you want to hold up and trust your defense. They've already used the timeout, so they don't use the timeout here.
Pass and catch consistency. Plus, Melton's another guy who can chuck that ball pretty far. No pun intended.
12 on the shot clock. I think they're holding for last, which is not. Realize that they can't.
Yeah, if they're going to use a timeout, they should do it.
Yeah.
So 10.4 left.
They didn't want to use that timeout there, but they got caught where they were just throwing the ball around, not knowing who's wanting to get the ball, who's scoring with it, and that's a timeout.
They weren't really moving play forward, right? So they didn't really know what they were trying to accomplish as a team.
Yeah. 8 seconds.
Garcia comes out. Melton going to the corner.
Great
and there
job.
it is with 1 second remaining.
Well, you had to use the timeout, so it's kind of a win for Texas there, but we've got a 2-point game with U of A's arrow coming out.
Gives them the opportunity to kind of break it to 1, right? So in 2 minutes, we'll come back here for the second. Hope you'll join us.
All right, Dave, we are back for the second quarter of this semifinal game to see who plays Denver in the championship and see who plays Ability 360 in the 3-4 game. Turn of events here. Texas came out hot, fired up, ready to go. And Gumby had his boys ready to play, and now it's back to a closer game. U of A's ball.
They had a decent lead, and also a flagrant to benefit from, and somehow U of A has battled back to within 2, and they will start with the ball. So we could see this become a one-try game if they can take advantage of this possession arrow.
Yeah. So going back with balance, which has been their better line here that I've seen this weekend for their tournament. And it's tough because you have a guy like Lee Fredette that's you want him on the court, but
sure.
This extra ball handler with Melton is working out better both offensively and defensively, honestly.
Yeah, it's helping them break the defense of Texas.
Yep. And it goes to what you were saying in our earlier game about matchups, and they're matching up better right now with having a little bit more offense on the court.
So Henniger gets out, chucks it ahead. I think Wheeler's going to get to that one. So Pabon now fouls Wheeler as he turns, and Wheeler turns with him, but he falls into Wheeler's lap.
It's like we said, they are making Ray beat them.
Yep.
And they're taking Alex out of the game. And honestly, Alex for this tournament is probably my MVP. He's very impressive.
So far, he's been
done
great.
a great job.
He's really been the difference in all the games.
And they've got to find a way to get the ball back in his hands, or Ray's got to step up and play some big boy rugby here.
So now Wheeler with an easy attempt.
So Gabe's going to guard the box so no one can get him, but you can get 2 for 2 here and then go man defense, which is what I would do. But they get what they want, and then Gabe went all the way up there. That was a great crafty move by Gabe Garcia. He was all the way up there to get the box, and now he finds himself exactly where he needs to be to set up the offense, and will probably break the press here because of his chair positioning and transition, which is exactly what happens.
Wheeler almost lost himself there.
It's a great job. That play was entirely set up by Gabe Garcia, the wily veteran.
Well, that was really well pointed out, too, in advance. Like, here's what could happen. And that one right over the top of Puderbaugh, able to knock it down. Looking for Melton.
Corey's really settled down in this game.
Yeah, it's focused intensity.
Yep, and we find ourselves at a tie game after a 3 and 4 point lead for Texas evaporates.
Oh, and I don't know why he waited so long to make that pass. He waited too long, ended up flipping over and had to throw a bad pass.
Probably should have kept the ball and called the timeout. That's tough. I've never been in positions like that where I'm flying around.
I don't go that fast. I'm
yeah,
sure, but when you are in a position, right, to
and there's no spin there from the read.
No,
that's a great replay, great camera work. And
he did that to himself.
He's got to call a timeout there. You've got timeouts to use. I'm sure that's what Coach Gumby already told him as well.
Now, with U of A's first opportunity to
and so after that turnover, Ray and Gabe are off the court, and they brought on their balance line that worked really well against the Warriors. Their balance line of
Simons, number 55.
2-5-2-2-1-5. And Simons pushes the ball up the court really well. Corey's got to make sure he's not hitting up the side, which he does. That's good. Really good job by Mason coming on the court.
Schockerbauer in. What's he, number 5?
So they back pick.
Number 6.
That's a great give and go.
Wheeler gets it up to Melton.
Yeah, Chris Fleece did a great little give and go there. That's a great job. Yeah, and ball skills. Give and go, your bumps, your passes, everything like that. That's fantastic.
Pabon 10, spun. They're going to call that a vertical. Corey needs to watch out. If he gets another flagrant, he's done for the tournament, right? He gets out of this game and he sits one more.
Yeah, he'd have to sit one more, and he's fine. That's just
I don't think that was bad or dirty.
It's not an egregious play whatsoever.
It was a light tap on his back wheel.
This is a good sub right here too. They're going to go more. They're going to go with their defensive line, which probably can work against this balance line that Texas has. Alex was flipped over. They can sub. They can sub on a fallen player. That's what they're arguing about. And Alex was down in the court, so you can sub on a fallen player. But it's a good call. TJ and Joe are doing a great job reffing this game. There's a lot of intensity. These teams both want to win here, and they're going to control this game. These guys are both veteran refs at this point, and they're going to do a good job of controlling the emotions and the hits. It's a vertical spin on Corey, and that's it. And he's playing aggressive, and it's worked. It's worked for them.
It has worked, right?
Really
They're
well
in
so
this
far.
game. They came back from a deficit of 4,
Yeah, yeah.
and over the top.
That's a tough catch, and Travis does a good
Baker
job.
pulls it in, protecting, but
And now
now he's
Mason-
got a lot of pressure. Simons with the long arms, and Kirkland able to save it as he
So
calls
that's the
timeout.
That's the difference between a rookie player and one of the best to ever play the game, and Brian. Brian's in trouble, calls a timeout. Travis is in trouble, throws the ball to Texas. You've got to use your timeouts in that situation. And that's this lineup for U of A has struggled offensively, and it's just if you're not going to score the ball, you can't be on the court. Usually you're rewarded when you cross the try line, and they're not doing that right now. They're not doing a good job of it, so it's an interesting sub. I understand what they're thinking because they've got 2-5, 2-2, 1-5 on the court, but it's a lot of function on the court still, and they're just getting overmatched.
Yeah.
In a lot of positions.
Well, and like you said, you're trying to match up with the team that you're facing, but if you can't keep the ball out of Alex's hands,
Yeah.
Pabon, number 10, loses it as Puderbaugh hits him,
Great.
but he gets it back.
Tell
Good
you what,
aggressive play on defense.
our nickname for Alex is a native of Puerto Rico, and then when he played USA ball, we called him the unpoppable Puerto Rican pinata because the guy just gets hit and hit and hit, and he continues to just fight. He's an amazing player. Can't say enough about his energy, his passion. He's a great teammate.
So Baker gets fixed up there. And now
And U of A is just chit-chatting instead of inbounding the ball.
it's not a heard the whistle.
In this line, Corey has to run the ball because there's not really another posting option.
Wheeler trying to get inside. Corey able to get
Great
through that
job.
time.
That's a good job. Wheeler setting that up and Corey hitting the gap hard.
So Simons, 55, fakes the throw, and now it's ahead to Schockerbauer.
That's good. Good offense from Schock.
Corey pulled up a little bit there, which was good.
Really good offense from Schock there. Getting the inbound in, up the sideline.
He's gotten really thin. Strong, but thin.
He's a strong man. I wish I had a beard like his, too. Goodness gracious.
Beard is about maintenance. You got to maintain
Or
it for it
about
to look
growth.
good.
I mean.
Well, there's that
yeah,
too,
yeah,
right? But
yeah.
you're going to have a
That's
beard.
my-
Oh,
a little bit of a mishap. and
so close.
You're probably going to see a timeout here, I'm assuming.
Running out of time here. Oh, that was definitely 12 seconds. According to the shot clock, it had not touched the player when it got down to 27, but that's all right. So remember, it's the referee's count, not the clock.
And TJ's one of these refs too. You don't really want to talk to. He's going to manage the game,
Yeah.
and so it's Alex is saying, "Hey, I'm getting hit in the face," but it's like he sees everything. He's reffed high-level games for a long time.
Wheeler gets in that dribble just in time.
It's close to 10, close to 12. He gets it over.
I mean, if the referee hadn't had his whistle in his mouth, he'd have been picking it up to stick it
I
in
tell
there.
you what, Dave, this is a fun game so far.
Yeah.
Oh, pops it.
Wow. Denver creating opportunities, just not getting the bounces. And I'm sure they hope that those things are going to pay off. They got a timeout call there. That's a good thing. That's something they're looking for. And at 19-19, the possession arrow not in their favor, however. So Texas will retain the ball.
Our sponsors, Oscar Mike, putting on
And
a
our
phenomenal
host.
Nationals. Our host, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's been a great event. I know they had a little bit of issues with the transportation. Hopefully they're working that out for the ride home. Transportation always an issue when you're this far from the airport. But they're working it out. But it's really, really a cool event. This facility is amazing.
As you can see from the camera view, we're packed in here. A lot of wheelchairs,
And this
a lot
is
of
the
boomsticks.
This is the 8th basketball court in this facility, all of which are taken up by wheelchair rugby games, staging, lunches,
So,
etc.
second quarter, Dave, sorry to cut you off, but second quarter, we see Boonchi and Liz on the court. They have not played Boonchi and Liz too often. Montrarius Hutcherson, a 3.5, and Liz, who's a 0.5, and they get the 0 added.
Liz, number 24.
It's so a little bit different. So I don't know if Coach Gumby is saying, you know, Ray, hey, we need you right now. Let's get a couple more breathers.
There's a lot of function on the court, especially with Mason being a deuce. Pabon, Hooterball is really, really pressing on him. Pushes him into Dunn. And another timeout called by Texas.
They're doing it's great defense, but they're doing a good job of calling their timeouts.
Yes.
And I know it's like, hey, a lot of timeouts spraying it, but they're calling the timeouts instead of throwing the ball over.
Yes, and if they use these timeouts to figure out what's wrong and take advantage of it too, that's just a bonus.
Yeah. Haven't mentioned this yet, but Ray and Alex have undeniable chemistry. They played college basketball together, wheelchair basketball at the University of Texas in Arlington, and they have a lot of chemistry together. So the one is better with the other one, both sides, but you're going to have to see it right here. They're going to have to get Boonchi involved.
They built their lead with that line, though, right?
They did. But Boonchi's got to get involved here. He's got to be the man calling for the ball.
Boonchi number 3.
Boonchi number 3, who,
Montrarius Hutcherson.
he gets the ball here, and he's got to be the man pushing with the ball.
He's not. He's going to have to throw it, and he knows it. Simons wanted to get rid of it.
Mason did a good job of just being tall, getting across the half-court line, saying, throw the big guy the ball.
And knowing not to throw it in that situation, I think, was a big thing, too. Because he wanted to. 21-20. Texas with the advantage. 3:18.
Yeah, getting close to clock management time. And
Hooterball almost drops that one.
Well, Mason
gets it up to Wheeler, and
Mason being in the game and being in positions where he can be tall, is really important. That's his cheat code to being a defender. He has a 6'8" wingspan. He's 6'4", but he is deceptively tall. Right there, he's an automatic inbound, but he's pushing backwards, which is not good. Liz up the court.
Simons gets the pass off.
And Liz there, you don't
back to Simons.
You don't have to do much as a low pointer. You have to be in the right position. And Liz
was.
Speaking of right position.
More opportunities here.
Speaking of right position, my goodness. I don't know if I would sit over there where those guys are by the bathroom, because there's been a lot of action down there.
There has been a lot of action.
They might have to go to the bathroom without even asking.
They'd have had a player or two in their laps if they'd been there in the first 2 minutes.
We got a timeout right here. And so Ray and Brian are going to check in. And Gabe. They're going back to their starting line for their clock management position here.
2:47 left. 22-21 Texas
and if I was
has the lead, but not the ball.
If I'm U of A, I'm going back to my balance. You got to look over and see what they put in and realize their defensive lineup has not boded well against this lineup here. So we'll see what they do. I'm not sure if they're subbing or not, but it looks like U of A is going to take their entire
1 minute
timeout here, which, hey. And is Texas going to fall on the key?
You know, it's guys like Wheeler who've been out here the whole time.
So same lineup for U of A. Let's see if this is a good call or a bad call. Keeping the same lineup.
Texas deciding to drop. They were showing the press and
they've had great success against this lineup in the key. And they're extremely tall here with Brian and Ray.
Yep.
And Alex is a superior defender.
And we see the picker in the middle of the key, which doesn't always happen. And a turnover created there. And
there you have it. I mean,
ball.
it's you've got to look at matchups. If I'm Melton, I'm subbing myself in right now.
His coach would love that.
Texas arrow, too.
Fredette. Oh, it ends up in the hands of Garcia, but he'll get it back to Henniger. Loses a handle, and Arizona gets it back.
We're pinballing here, boys. We are pinballing here.
Well, we've seen several plays like that, but Texas has been able to pick them up, and that time they didn't. I feel like it's been an avalanche of opportunities, and
Ray's got to decide
some of them have to pay off. He decides to push.
And that's a great push from Ray.
Yeah.
I mean, Gumpy's probably going to be telling them at halftime, we've got to have you being pushing up the court every play like that, because, I mean, goodness gracious, it's pretty unstoppable when he's able to push like that.
Baker gets it up to Wheeler. Henniger gets rid of the picker for him, stopping that first chair as he should. And now it's Peterball with the ball.
They're trying to get a 130 here. They got 10 seconds to score to get their 130 clock management.
He's going to have some trouble where he is unless he can get Wheeler up there, and he does.
Just fine there.
Wheeler gave him an out there. He came to the close pylon because he knew that Peterball couldn't make it there.
You know, Chad Cohn's at home yelling at his iPad right now about this game. He's at U of A, won plenty of championships with U of A.
Gets away at the 10-second mark, and Pabon able to grab that just as he crosses the line.
But what happened here with that long pass is he asked to score that, and so they ruined their clock management chances. And now U of A can go and try to score. But the tough thing about waiting for this is they're not good in key offense right now.
Wheeler knew he needed to dribble, had to stop.
A lot of touchy-feelies going on.
Yep.
Wheeler's kind of looking for a foul. But
at least to the side he wants to pass. The other side's open, but he can't get it there. And now he's in the cylinder.
Yeah.
Kirkland had his arm in the cylinder, and Wheeler pulled the ball down over it. That's definitely on Kirkland.
That's the old Dave Wilsey trick right there. You get him in the cylinder, you grab the arm. And now we got the sub that I thought that maybe they should have went to a little bit before that, but great job there by Travis Baker and Lou Fredette. And now they got their offensive line in to try to get a 50 here, so they got 10 seconds. In the background.
55. Melton with the ball. Peterball creates some separation over the top.
You got to score, Josh.
Josh has to get in there. That's right.
He's waiting to see the box. The box does not matter. They wasted 4 seconds, which was valuable time thinking about the box. In the penalty box, in the clock management, the penalty box doesn't matter. The clock does. I'm getting fired up here, Dave.
I see that. Well, think about it, right? If they are able to use all 40 seconds on the shot clock, instead of 10 seconds, now they have 6. No timeouts,
Texas
technical.
Is out of timeouts. And that was a clean hit.
It was a clean hit.
I'd like to see a replay on that.
I think people were upset because they thought that was going to be a technical. But
right, it's bang, bang, but that's
it was a technical.
That's a clean hit.
The other way. And here we go with the replay. All right, so watch. Peterball hits him in front, in the sweet spot, and Pabon just is that light.
In front, and he's trying to kind of hip out just a little bit, but he gets hit. So it's clock management. Ball's into Chuck
30
Melton.
Remaining seconds.
They're going to bring this all the way down as low as they can while scoring.
It's definitely the right line for this situation.
And if that happens, we're going to go into halftime with U of A up 1 with Texas having the ball. It's been a great half, my goodness.
It has been. We started off, it looked like Texas was going to run away with this. They were just dominating.
7 seconds is a lot of time.
Kirkland there,
plenty of time here.
Gamesmanship. Hitting Melton after he got inbounds, or before he could get inbounds, and not able to do it. That was a great attempt, but he didn't catch it.
That was a phenomenal hustle there by Brian Kirkland.
Yeah.
Hustling all the way down, get his big old bear paw, tapped it, and Alex barely misses it.
And he tapped it right into the right place. Like if Pabon had been 6 inches left, he'd have been able to catch that.
That was a beautiful play. That was great. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
So we're going into halftime here, 25-24. Arizona in the lead. We'll be back in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. See you then.
Are you ready for the second half, Dave?
I am ready for the second half. We got a barn burner here. I've had a couple of lead changes. It's 25-24. U of A is in the lead right now. Second half of this game, winner goes to the championship. Henniger will get the first try and tie things up.
Yeah, Texas ball coming out, and they're going back to their starters, and Henniger did not have a good first half. With a good second quarter, I should say. But, I mean, I look to bounce back here for him. To, you know, again, have that short memory and get pushing.
Yep, let it go.
Great little pick by Corey.
Like my Disney reference. That's your thing.
It is my thing. Now I have it stuck in my head.
All right, let's just not talk about Bruno, okay?
I like it. I like it. Corey needs to stay away from there. There he goes. They must have talked to him about a half. Hey,
yeah,
no baselines.
You can't be kicked out of this game in the next one because that'll ruin Arizona's chances. Corey, number 22, with the one flagrant today. He can't afford to get another one. That will end Arizona's run.
And that's just easy rugby in their balance line. The ball comes into Melton. He offloads it over to Wheeler. And that's an easy offensive play. We got Ray pushing.
27-26.
Ray gets a dribble in and almost turns the ball over, but does not.
He's got a lot. Melton getting in there. He's kind of out of the cylinder with that ball.
It's good ball control by Ray. It was a little dicey, and Juve is trying to take advantage.
Yeah. Well, sure, they're trying to create a turnover.
Really good
they
job
need to create
Henniger.
some separation here.
Corey's got to be active here. It's a really good transition. Gabe's eating up Chris Fleece.
And that looks like it went off the bone. It did.
Yeah, they've got both sides still, which is a big deal.
Not only that, getting across half is a lot easier when you're 2 feet from the line.
Yep.
Somebody needs to get it. There we go. Now Wheeler. We've got
Pick
Melton
and roll
across. Wheeler trying to get off. Corey not able to execute the pick and roll, but Melton's got the ball. He's got Kirkland on his back, but Brian Kirkland, 44, unable to get there. So Cabone, number 10, little head fake.
Yeah, Ray's got position though. No, cannot make the pass. That's good. That's good patience by Alex.
Yeah, and a good pick there by Kirkland to know to come over and open that up for him.
He kind of knew he was going to score anyway, so he's patient with the ball. No need to pass right there. When
40 seconds we got to score. It's okay to use it. 28-28. Arizona with the advantage because they have the ball.
Yeah, making Chris Fleece inbound. He does a great job with it.
Ahead to Wheeler. Wheeler's got 2 on him. Tries to push it through.
They don't have it.
Puderbaugh needs to come around. He's got 3 players on him defensively. And good play there. A little bit dicey. So into Henniger. Henniger brings it up court.
Yeah.
And he'll score. Puderbaugh almost took out our table.
Yeah, what we do. And again, that's key to the game right now. Key to the second half, at least, is Ray pushing the ball, scoring the goals, and he does just that pretty easily on that one.
So Puderbaugh is out of this play, held on the line, so he can't even take a pass. Wheeler does a great job protecting the ball there and getting across. Stopping to make sure he doesn't get hit at the line. And, it's Henniger's face that will cut
That's
the
a bad
penalty.
call there. That's not a good call.
What was that?
Joe Bongiovanni calls him for a technical.
Because he hit him after he fell
which
down?
it's bang, bang, and we'll get a replay here.
Yeah, let's see that one.
He doesn't touch him. That's a terrible call.
Well, yeah, he kind of fell on top of Wheeler.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a great call.
I don't like the call. And here's what we have. We have the advantage of watching this over again.
Right.
So it's much easier from our point of view. But
he grabbed the brakes.
It's when you have
touchy.
When you have
So we got 3-on-3 rugby
So we got
for a
3
little
on
while.
3.
I mean,
We got 3 on 3
by the
rugby.
letter of the law, he's not wrong.
So what the call was here, very interesting. You don't see this very often. So it's a penalty on Ray for being on him holding, and then Josh pushing into him is a penalty after the call.
right.
So that's U of A ball right here, and now they're going in to score, which is a
Right.
wild turn of events.
Possession does not change on a technical. That's
Correct.
the difference.
But in
So now Texas with a man advantage. Right.
in the NFL, there'd be offsetting penalties. There'd be no penalty, right?
Right.
In rugby, let's get a couple in the sin bin over there by the fans, and let's
play
play some
3 on
3-on-3.
Hey, wide open
We've
rugby.
seen it all in this game.
Putting on the
And I
foil,
like that.
coach.
Yeah, I like that from Coach Gumby, where he's asking for the reason, which you, as a coach, you want to do. Like, you want to know what the call is.
Sure.
Because
Well,
it depending on the call is when they come out of the box. So
and
makes sense
often
there.
that is used to slow things down as well.
Yeah, gamesmanship.
So on is Wheeler. Hooterbaugh again trapped. They triple
And
team.
they've got
They're
Brian.
triple teaming him until they get.
Brian
he
and
gets
Ray
locked
got
up.
the height here. They're going give and go with Chris Fleece, and Chris Fleece did a good job there. He's had himself a little bit of a game here. I think he's been playing well.
Yep. Yeah, he's made his minutes count. Wheeler there getting try. 5:06 left in the third. 31-30. Arizona on top. Henniger hit from behind, but able to make the catch.
Corey's going to
And then
catch up to him
Hooterbaugh,
now.
He's in front.
Oh, and great
Tried
push
to
by
stop
Ray.
at the line, yeah.
Corey probably wants that one back, but Ray is competing in this second half very well.
Hooterbaugh might as well have his name on that box.
Yeah, he might want a peanut butter. You know what? I think Cassie should probably put some of her chocolate balls that we had before the game in
had
the
one.
penalty box.
So delicious.
Yeah,
Cassie, thank
if you're
you.
looking for desserts,
Oh, man.
Cassie will hook you up.
That was
and-
so rich and moist. And
Can you imagine? Actually, she probably shouldn't put him over there because he'd be in the box even more.
don't give him incentive
yeah,
to come
exactly.
back.
Give him some, like, I don't know, some
You're allowed to put waters next to the box. Right?
sardines over there and uncapped. Keep
I
doing it.
can't bring a water there, but I can put it before the game.
But here's the deal with Corey reaching there, and he's been effective at reaching and
Yeah. flipping
flipping the ball out, and so there's not much risk. They're setting up their offense. They've went with their back to their pseudo kind of high-low here. Has U of A, and they're going back to more of a defensive lineup, but it's not too much of a risk. Corey's going to call inbound and race to go get the inbound, and he's been working on inbounding a lot, so it's not that big of a risk for him to reach.
Well, it's interesting. They're trying to do the same thing to Wheeler that they were doing to Hooterbaugh.
Yeah, and
Wheeler's
so
not letting it happen.
Well, what they'll do here is just go give and go. You can't triple. Triple
Now
doesn't
he's
work.
tripled.
That's just too easy for U of A at that point.
With two pickers,
Yeah.
Hooterbaugh goes up to Baker.
Good offense.
As long as your low point
Yeah.
is an offensive threat, you can get away with that kind of thing all day.
And what Texas is trying to do there, it's good defense. They're trying to get a double on Wheeler and then get
Yep.
one to leave. The one left just too late.
We try to do that all the time, right? You work that third guy until you can get him into position, and then you take off.
And Brian,
Can't keep up with him.
I don't care how old Brian Kirkland is. He's going to beat you in a race. It's
Well, the guy keeps working. Right? He's, he plays for
Oh.
Texas, but he
Alex.
works out in Birmingham every day.
yeah. And there's a pass there that just went off Alex's front end and barely missed it. And it's a tough turnover. He's been working so hard. And
So now Texas
game.
needs a turnover to get this game closer.
And U of A opens up their biggest lead of the game. Texas was up 4 at one point, and now find themselves down 2. Score can go up 1. And they have their
Simons
balance.
got
They have
Wheeler
their
in
balanced
his
line
face,
in, which
trying to throw. He pulled up to throw, and Pabon has to throw it because he's going over the line. He had no choice. Simon says you should have called timeout. Pabon says we don't have any.
which
He already tried that.
Mason needs to understand that they haven't had any timeouts for a while now. They need to understand that they don't have any timeouts.
Yeah, he hasn't been in the game, but that doesn't mean he shouldn't know they have no timeouts.
Well, look at this.
right?
Texas is not. They're not going to
No.
stop fighting.
They
They're
didn't.
playing phenomenal defense here.
Yep. Great effort by Texas on defense.
And Coach Gumby calls a timeout, which is coach's timeout, which is smart. I mean, they've kind of got in trouble here a little bit, and I'm sure they're going to go back to their starting line now. And the mismatch is where the balance line for U of A works well against Texas's starting lineup, and their defensive line works better against Texas's balance lineup. So it's a little chess move there.
Yep. Well, you don't see in rugby where there's a whole lot of switching, like one person makes the difference and then they switch back and they switch back.
Yeah.
Not so much.
No, it's you know, with subs having to be, you know, on dead balls, it's better now without the cards. I don't, you know, with we were coaching down in Columbia, and it was much
cards on the table.
It's much easier without the cards to do it. And
I think at the international level it makes sense.
Yeah.
The problem with it at the club level is that there's a lot of guys nobody knows who they are, especially in D2.
That makes sense.
So I'm always looking at the table to see, all right, what's this guy's class? Who's he running with? But
what's his name?
Rosters are wrong a lot of times.
What's his number?
Yep. So 35 Henniger bringing the ball up for Texas.
That's Ray pushing. So you
Kirkland
saw Travis
there.
Baker there
Yeah.
on Kirkland, really, really tight. And when you're playing defense in those lanes, you actually want to be off the player a little bit more so you can play the space and not just the player. Kirkland just drag him deep on purpose there to give Ray an angle.
You want to be potentially, I'm touching the ball. I'm touching the ball. Both referees made the same call.
Yeah, it's the right call.
There.
It's the right call. Alex is saying he's touching the ball, but that doesn't really matter because the ball's a part of the lap at that point. But he is a competitor. He's fighting as hard as he can.
But he's on Wheeler's arm there as he goes down too. So he did touch the ball as he was going down, but he also touched the arm. Contact, and that's all there is to it. And whatever the referee calls is the right call because it's not going to change. So now Fredette will inbound. Pabon in the box.
They're going to wipe up some.
Fredette number 11.
Some moisture on the court there.
Sweaty.
It is getting hot in here with this game.
Don't start
A lot of
singing on
bodies in here.
It is a lot warmer. Yesterday, this was the coldest court. Or no, it was the warmest court because I remember going out there and it was cool. Because this is a single room court. It's the only one in the building. The other 7 are split in 3 and 4. Kirkland looking to get the
Tough
Henniger.
pass there. A little give and go from Gabe.
And it's Puderbaugh forcing
held ball,
the turnover there,
which goes to
jump. They just pointed in the
U of A.
of Arizona.
So U of A is going to get that ball.
So hungry hippos going on there.
Yeah.
Underneath the chair of Garcia.
Well, Josh is trying to keep Alex out, but honestly, Josh just needs to go and get the ball. As he does that.
I think he was just trying to create an advantage there so he could get
hold him back and then get the ball.
Yeah.
He was thinking way smarter than I
guy.
was at that point, I think, yeah.
I love a coach who could admit when his player might have made a better decision.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. You don't see that so often. Otherwise, it's like, as you were. Could have got the call there. Wheeler put his elbow up so that he could lean into it, but.
So now with that jump ball, it's going to be Texas Arrow at the quarter if there's no more jump balls. And so they want to get clock management here and make it a 2-point game.
Pabon working for that corner, working hard. Wheeler still in his way. I think he's going to try him back. Nope. Kirkland had the corner for him. Oh, and Puderbaugh has to go around Garcia. Garcia made that happen.
Yeah, they call a penalty try on that, which I don't know if he was
had to
close
go
to
under
scoring. Okay, yeah, so that's right.
If he hadn't gone under Garcia and gone off the court, it was an open court to score.
Yeah.
So now Kuderbaugh being trapped has to call inbound.
All right, so Josh and U of A, they want to get
to move along the court so that
they want to get a
Garcia,
130.
right?
Corey's being a little too patient there.
Well, he was looking for a pass. You could see that's what he was looking for the entire time. And now Wheeler's got 3 defenders on top of him.
They got 8 seconds to score, and they need to go.
Fredette hanging on to Garcia, so it's 3-on-3. And with 1:31, Kuderbaugh gets across the line. Henniger ducking underneath Kirkland. Kirkland, number 44, now with the ball, passes it forward to Pabon. Fredette gets in there.
Fredette gets the ball.
Pabon waited for the ball.
Yeah.
And a timeout
Corey
is called.
calls a timeout. Really smart timeout.
Good call, yeah. There's no way Lee was going to get that off his picker.
And it's not easy to play 2 games in one day.
Especially if they're close together.
But it seems like U of A is showing that they're, are they in better shape than Texas? I don't know. Alex Pabon's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, I don't know.
This game's far from over, I think.
I think the difference really has been the matchups. When they changed the matchup, when they switched the lines that complement, that's what's made the difference. But like I was saying earlier, there have been a lot of pinball moves, right?
Yeah.
And Arizona just didn't get any of them early on, and they've gotten some of them since then.
Melton
and taking advantage. Melton did a great job there, not just catching, but hanging on and getting it out.
And Josh does a good job of pulling up. They want to hold for a 50.
104 left on the game
Texas is
clock.
out of timeout, so they can go 5-0 here.
And that not having timeouts has hurt Texas a lot. They've had several turnovers based on the fact that they can't use a timeout. They use their timeouts effectively, but you only have 4. Oh, aggressive play by Wheeler. Disbelief on the face of Pabon, number 10. And now he's asking
Mama Melton and Papa Melton the cowbells are ringing here today.
You know things are going well for a St. Louis player when you hear the cowbells. Or a former St. Louis player, I guess.
They've got to try to get it in, and good bump there. But Chris Fleece has had a good game.
He has. He's in contention for man of the match.
Yeah. And that's the thing. From the get-go, I've kind of been saying balance, 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 but that means Chris Fleece has to have a good game, and he has so far.
Well, even at 4 tries, you can't count Texas out. They have been so tough this year.
Yeah.
They've got so much function and speed on that line.
They have the talent to come back from a deficit like this in the 4th quarter.
And experience. I mean, you watch Kirkland out there being in the right place at the right time.
So U of A is using their last timeout to go last goal. It's Texas's arrow at the quarter. So they're going to try to go up 6. And then it'd be Texas ball coming in to put them down 5 if they scored first goal. So
10 try swing, right? From the 4-point advantage that Texas had at one point.
Yeah.
So Texas is going to come out swinging here in the 4th. But first thing they want to do here is stop U of A from getting one with the final 11 seconds of this period, because they get the first opportunity in the next one. And try score by Melton.
Josh is back. There's 5 seconds, which you can score. But you got to get the ball. Well, Ray's stopped, and you actually have to be up in speed if you're going to try to score.
And there's the bump.
Alex bumps.
Henniger not going to be able to get there.
Not quite. Gabe's trying to get down there.
Half a second left. Will we see some gamesmanship here? I don't think so. They don't have a timeout. Well, they have a bench. I don't know that I would call it, though.
No, they don't have
you have to hit a guy on his way across the line for that to work.
Right.
So good call there. So 39-33, U of A leading Texas. The final quarter coming up in 2 minutes. Come back and join us. So here we go in the fourth quarter. Arizona up by 6. Coach, what do you do here as Texas? How do you get back in this game?
It's a tough question here. They're switching their line a little bit with Mason and Liz out now instead of Brian and Gabe. But honestly, their best success that they've had defensively this game has been in the key. And it seems weird being down 6, but you got 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's where they've had their successes and their key
That's an interesting
defense.
strategy.
It is, because you think it's going to take too much time, but if you can get the turnover, goodness, that's where they've had their success.
Well, you got to try something, right? You got to do something different.
Yeah, you want to keep the ball out of Josh's hands and probably swarm.
So
Probably
penalty
swarm
try.
Corey. That's another piece where, you know, Melton and Josh have been kind of running the offense, and Corey's been up top with Alex. So really you want to just force the ball out of Josh's hands, which they are not doing.
Arizona with 4 in the key. He's got
Melton
Wheeler's
wide
got
open.
Melton way up
Doesn't
top,
see
but he's
it.
not going to take advantage of it now. Changed his mind. And Chuck Melton, number 4, will take his sweet time crossing
taking
the line.
ticks. Taking ticks.
He knows the clock is on their side.
For U of A, you just want to hold steady. Keep this line in as long as it's running well, because that's your offensive line.
Melton knocks it out of Mason Simon's hands.
Mason throws a great pass.
But he got it back. And that was a great pass.
And if I'm U of A, I'm telling Corey every play, hey, nothing on the baseline. Nothing on the baseline. They don't.
Yep.
And if I'm Texas, I'm baiting that call. You know, if Corey's coming
Absolutely.
down, I'm baiting that call a little bit. Someone like Alex, Mason, Ray.
Somebody who
They
will go
bait
over
that,
easy. Udabaugh flips it
And
to
you
Melton.
see Alex is pretty frustrated. And he doesn't have the same chemistry with Mason as he does with other players in the court. And
I think it makes sense for Arizona to have out this line. They need to just keep scoring the tries,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah,
don't need to create turnovers. They need
You're
to
just-
score,
you're
score,
hit-
score.
hit-
Get
hit-
the ball handlers in there.
hit the ball over the net.
Yep. The ball over the net?
Yeah, it's a tennis.
Oh, okay.
It's the tennis
I see what
strategy
you're
of just
saying.
hitting the ball over the net,
Right,
make
you
the
volley
other person mess
instead
up.
of trying to
Right,
go for the kill
right.
shot. Right.
Yeah, that's what I used to do in ping pong a
I
lot.
was a racquetball player,
Okay.
so I get what you're saying.
Mason gets turned around.
Slowing it down is Wheeler. 41-36. Minute and a half gone in this final quarter. Winner plays for the championship of Division I. Loser plays for third. Fleece opens up the corner. And Peterborough gets in. Uses 33 seconds out of that 40-second clock. Simons going backward. And he turns around to go forward. Oh boy. He spent a lot of time going backward in Columbia.
Too much time.
Yeah, I called him out for it a couple of times. I hope he's not mad at me.
Yeah. Pet peeve of mine, going backwards.
Is it really? Actually, we talked about that in Columbia, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Wheeler going to bring it across half court, not getting the pressure that he was getting in the third quarter. Henniger tries to get it. He was backing up. That is not a vertical. But he hit Chuck Melton with his head. So he will probably go into the box.
Melton was seeing if he was okay. Their teammates on the USA side. And
Well, and nobody wants to crack somebody's skull open
Nope.
in this game.
Nope.
We love it, but
it's
not that much. Okay. Nope, they're not going to call anything there.
no,
So apparently Henniger only hit the front
the
of
floor of
Chuck's
some.
chair and
Yeah.
the floor. No sense adding insult to injury. Wheeler patiently getting it back to Melton. Again, chewing up that clock. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Texas needs a turnover here, but even though they'd like it to happen fast, they'll take it no matter how they can get it.
Yes, they will.
And Peterborough at the line. fights his way
Muscles.
across.
Muscles his way in because Ray had the position. My goodness.
Now 5:29. Simons up. Oh, a technical on Peterborough. So Simons was up and Peterborough kind of helped him go over.
Gave
and
him a
they'll
little
call that
tap, tap.
technical, Yep. You can't do
Yeah.
that, right? You can hit him and make it happen. You can turn away. But I'm almost to the point where I think maybe Puderbaugh comes out so that we don't have the chance of losing him in the next game.
I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Do they not have a
There's
somebody they can put in to
5 minutes left still, and you need him on the court. You need him on the court
You
still.
need to talk to him and make sure he doesn't get himself
Yeah.
disqualified.
You're 100% right. You're Melton.
Like, I'd waste
Chris,
the time out on it.
Josh. Yes.
He needs,
yes.
I'm sure he's been talked to about it,
Yeah.
but at any time you can have a referee say, you're crossing the line and I'm going to make this one the one that counts. But they also realize that if they do so, they are affecting the outcome of the championship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, assuming that U of A finishes the job. Puderbaugh having trouble getting across half. Texas defense solid, but Melton there just waiting. Garcia's hanging on to him, facing the
being
right way.
patient.
Up Wheeler grabs that one.
Not a great pass, but a phenomenal catch there.
And a quick try there. Kirkland into Henniger. Ducks underneath Puderbaugh. And Wheeler. He's double teamed, but Kirkland in there to make a hit, and we'll get the foul on Melton. So Texas will have a man advantage on this power play. 44-38. Only 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game. Everything on the line here.
Everything meaning a shot at the national
if you don't win
championship.
this game, you have no shot at the championship. You will not.
Until next year, which will be right back here.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
We don't know the dates yet, but we will as soon as we know. It won't be this weekend, though. We don't know. Puderbaugh slowly working his way up.
That's a good catch there by Chuck Melton.
I saw Chuck Melton's watch light up as he went by. Wheeler gets around Garcia, up in the air a little bit, but they're not going to call it. They're not going to call it because you didn't gain an advantage.
You're not. Okay.
Wheeler drawn. Puderbaugh on Henniger. Henniger wants to get it across to Kirkland, but he can't get by Melton, so now it's Pabone with the head fake.
Melton does a really good job of not putting his chair on Alex, because that's an easy flop for Alex and maybe a technical foul. And a technical foul can change this game really quick with 4 minutes left still.
Oh, and he was shadowing Kirkland, making sure that pass wasn't possible.
And there's Josh beating Ray up the court.
He had one push on him, and that's all he needed. On a well-placed pass. 46-40. Now we're halfway through the final quarter of this semifinal.
There Alex is going again.
Texas needs some magic at this point. Texas was the favorite here to play for the championship against Denver. They call that a push?
They called that a push.
Gabe talking to Wheeler there.
Gabe Nierkinen.
Gabe,
living on the island right
Michigan?
now.
Which island?
I don't know, one of the Hawaiian islands. He's
Oh,
out
is
in
he?
Hawaii. Getting island fever. Got off the island for a little while, come over here. I think he has a 9-hour flight, he said, back home. It's
Yep.
direct from Chicago, it sounds like. But Gabe's a great ambassador for the sport and long-time U of A guy.
He's done a lot of international stuff. And,
Yeah, has he been down to South America as well with you guys?
He has. Well, he speaks Spanish, so that helps a lot.
Yep.
But he's been to Mexico a couple of times too, but
I know cerveza.
I probably know 200 words, but making a sentence is a challenge. And the longer I stay away, the harder it is to bring it back.
Yeah.
Got to get on that Duolingo. Puderbaugh trapped at the line. They're not letting him on the court. He's asking TJ, can I get on the court? He's keeping me from getting on the court. He's on the court now. Asking for a coach's timeout.
They're going to give themselves a timeout.
And that'll get Puderbaugh off the line as Pabon gets his wheel fixed. 47-41, only 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in this game here in Rockford, Illinois. We are in the USWRA National Championship Tournament. This is Division I. We're in a coach's timeout, which is a 60-second timeout. Arizona, the only team with timeouts left. They have one coach's timeout remaining. And as Brian Kirkland takes the ball on the sideline, he will throw it in to Mason Simons. Wheeler stops him at the line. Simons committed to throwing. Pabon with the speed. Can he pick it up? He does.
Yeah.
And Puderbaugh right to pull back on that.
Oh, yeah, it was a 50-50 ball, but he did a good job of saying nope.
Well, and just
take their
applying
point.
the pressure,
Take their
being
point.
behind,
Yeah.
right. Just knowing he's there puts some pressure on Pabon.
Great hustle by Alex. He has not given up in this game, even though they were up 4, and now they're down 5 and 6, and he is working hard. And
well, I would say you can say that about pretty much all the Texas players.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Look at Kirkland. He's in the plays.
There's no give up here.
Yeah.
All fight from these guys, and obviously not the way they wanted this game to go, but.
No, and it was such a punch for punch game
just a
into
battle.
the third.
Yeah. I mean, I think easily probably our most exciting game we've had this weekend.
And from D1, yeah,
in
certainly.
D1.
Wheeler shucks it.
Good call there from Corey.
A nice soft bounce too. He didn't have to chase that one down.
So it looks like we will have a Denver U of A rematch from 3 years ago.
Right from our, yeah.
A different Denmark import. A different low pointer for U of A.
All of the drama. And a different favorite this time around too, right?
A different favorite this time around. U of A had Daisuke playing for them last time as well. And Mason being tall, making something happen, but Lee says, you know what? I used to be the #1 man in New York when I played Division III. Let's go.
Dribble. Wait, TJ is correcting him. TJ says, I saw it, he did dribble. Coach Gumbert saying shot clock at 5, calling for subs. 49-44 our score, 2:19 left. Still a chance.
TJ does a good job of reffing there, and I think, because it's not about showing up his partner, it's about getting the calls right. And he saw them dribble, and he says, you know what, I just saw this, you're wrong, and let's get the call right. And
even though that's his call, right?
Right, and that's great officiating by both those guys.
Yep.
Where it's not about them, it's about the spirit of the sport and getting the call right. And great job there by TJ and Jay.
Well, and that's why in a game of this caliber, we're seeing referees that will do that, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think the officiating has been pretty
They've been really good. I mean, this has been
weekend.
a feisty game.
Yeah.
There's bodies flying around, and they've done a good job from the tip-off, from the first play of the game where Corey spun him on the baseline going, guys, here's what we're going to do. And, you know, you can argue either way on those flagrants, or non-flagrants. But
they let them play, but at some point you got to draw the line, and that's what they did.
Yep.
You know, whether they drew it on the second one or the third one, they had to draw, and they did. And you've seen Corey pull back on that kind of behavior because of it.
Yeah. There's Gabe Garcia there fighting again.
And that's why we have a disqualifying foul, because if you give out a flagrant and it doesn't really have any consequences other than sitting in the box for what might be an even or two try differential, it's not enough. Flagrant's supposed to mean more.
There's a lot of speed out here. A lot of function, but Gabe Garcia, you just saw it there, and he makes a pick, gets him up the court, and Corey pays for his hard work of hustling there and running into Brian Kirkland.
But he had some momentum going sideways when his tire got stuck to the floor, and it just took him right over. So now Texas down by 5. Ball able to pull that one down. He's got Wheeler helping him, and only Pabon in his way from the score.
Alex with a hard hit. Down 5, down 6, not giving up even though there's a minute and a half left. And gotta love that.
And Melton waiting here in the box to get in. Melton and Fleece.
And raising that pet peeve of mine where you get the 3 and 4 locked up, and it's tough offense. And Brian, Gabe, and Alex get the job done though. Minute 28, you're up 5. There's not really any shot clock needed. You just want to score the ball.
Garcia's got Baker locked up. Bone on defense. Fredette gets in his way, but it'll be Baker. And he'll score quickly with Henniger on his heels.
Henniger holds up. No need to get chippy there.
52-46. Minute 15 remaining. Kirkland to inbound. Pabon uses his chair, gets Fredette out of his way. And now up court goes Texas. Henniger has Kirkland.
Good pass by Ray.
Kirkland so much bigger than Baker. You're going to get that pass over him. And now Pabon running the offense. He has Kirkland in the corner, but doesn't need it. Wide open in the center. Fredette to Wheeler. 51 seconds remaining.
Oh, he needs some help. Corey's being a little too passive there.
That's the difference. Fredette, if he sees him. Watch out, here comes Henniger. He's going to blast you. Nice job, just spinning around.
The old whoop-de-whoop there. Good hustle by Ray.
And now we're without a shot clock. 35.6 remaining. 53-47. And
Texas tosses it.
So without a shot clock, Arizona just needs to grind this down. They'll probably work for the final try, but don't need to.
The second half here, Chris Fleece has had himself a game. Corey settled in as well, but Chris Fleece and Travis Baker played really well for U of A, and I think they were the difference here in the second half.
Definitely Corey had a much better game than he did in the last one. You wonder if something's different or if it's just the opponent, but he definitely played better. Yeah. Texas hustling back, 8 seconds remaining. Into Henniger. Henniger who gets it to Kirkland, who's on the move, tries to get it to Pabon. Unable. So now with 2 seconds remaining and no timeouts except for, he does have a bench timeout. They could use a bench over a half, but it's 2 seconds. This game is over.
Yeah, and it's
Baker trying to call for inbound. Came in and
won this fair and square. No need to. They could work on it, right?
Such a great game. Texas came out firing on all pistons, and U of A battled back to take over and win this one. So our final tomorrow afternoon will be U of A versus Denver, and it will be Texas playing for third against Phoenix.
Yes, so we'll be with you tomorrow for the championship game as well as other games. And thanks again to our host, Oscar Mike, and sponsors here. And we'll see you.
Now, don't go away because I think we have another game here, don't we?
Yeah, we got Seattle and Shepherd playing, I believe. Yeah?
I think you might be right. I should have taken a picture of that wall. So yeah, both teams are going to take a look at what they did today, try and take advantage of the positives and get rid of some of the negatives. Both such a great game. What do you expect tomorrow from the championship?
Yeah, I think if I'm well, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Sounds good.